Welcome to the Japan Game Junk podcast. I'm so happy and thankful that you're here.
And welcome back to Japan Game Junk, the podcast. I'm going to talk a little bit about a store that was visited on the 20th of July, 2025. This is a store I've been quite a bit previously, and I've talked about a bit. It is the Surugaya store of Konosu City in Saitama, and there I've found many wonderful things in the past. Cheap games, including this day, and my MSX machine, all of which were very cheap here. So some things to note of what is available at the store. On this day, actually, and probably still as of this release if you're in the area, if you're a fan of the One Piece card game, they are heavily discounted for new boxes and packs of the One Piece card game, down 20% or 50%, depending on if it's a very large or small pack. So next up, this store did have actual pornographic Nintendo Switch games. So these are games that actually were not released in the US. I'm sorry, in Japan. In Japan, actually, Nintendo will not license these games. I don't know what it is about other countries, but maybe Nintendo of Europe, it's okay. But there were two Switch games. One was Shuttlecock H, and the other one was this collection of three different adult games. And they both say that they're for 18 and older, and they are, I checked online just looking at an image search, and indeed, they do show bare breasts if you do well in the game. They look like they're very simple games, so if you don't have the internet for pornography and you have a Switch, I guess you can look at bare breasts this way for animation girls, I don't know. But they were being sold for 5,800 yen each. The Play Yan Micro, some sort of thing for your Game Boy Micro that lets you put in an SD card and it plays, media files, so you can have a video player or a music player with your Game Boy Micro. I can see that being a very interesting thing to have. I don't see paying 12,500 yen to use your Game Boy Micro as an MP3 player. They had a completely new in-box visual memory unit for the Dreamcast. A black one, just like it's $19.99 being sold in the store for 18,500 yen. Wow. Boxed Pocket Pikachu, the original one, not the updated one, 8,900 yen in box, also a bit on the expensive side. And they also had some Tamagotchi, which were not so rare, but I guess they're going up in price. Regular old Daruma style Tamagotchi was 8,500 yen, if you know Daruma. A Sega Master System, this is for just the system and the controller, was 17,000 yen, which actually is not too expensive these days. The Pochi, I'm not sure what the name of it is in English, but the Yoshi's Dog, Woolly Dog, Yoshi's Woolly World Dog, the dog, the dog, that amiibo was being sold for 14,800 yen. That's so crazy, I got mine for less than 1/10 of that. Hyperlight Drifter, which is kind of an okay game, but the special edition for Switch was being sold for 12,000 yen in the big box, although not even in great condition. The box has got some scuffs on it. Harry Potter Uno for 800 yen here. And I guess if you like Harry Potter and are not against J.K. Rowling and you like Uno, then it's something you can get. A new Nintendo, not new as in new in stock, or new as in new in box, but new as in the style is called the new Nintendo 2DS LL, known as XL outside Japan. This is the one that has the metal slime on it, the Dragon Quest thing there, and it does include Dragon Quest, what is it? What's the game. It's so tiny on the thing here. Dragon Quest 6 or 11 for 3DS. 44,000 yen. If you want to have that one. Street Fighter Rivals, a card game for the Street Fighter characters, being sold for 3,800 yen. Kind of weird. Hideline for MSX. I got mine fully in package with instructions for 1,200 yen way back when, and here it's being sold cartridge only for 3,720 yen. But it's Hideline, so you should pay anything for that. Adam's Family for Game Boy. I remember that game being quite interesting. 3,600 yen. And just a note for anyone who played in the US or whatever, the Addams Family games for Genesis or Super Nintendo or Game Boy, whatever, they're very heavily inspired by old British 8-bit computer platformers, which are, go to all these different places that have named rooms and you collect items and stuff. Very reminiscent. So if you really like Addams Family for those systems, then you probably like British platforming games like, Jet Set Willy and all that. Robocop 2 for Game Boy, 3,150 yen. Lunar Lander, just a game, I like Lunar Lander, it's a fun old classic game. For Game Boy, 790 yen. For 10,000 yen was Bionic Commando Elite Forces for Game Boy Color. I remember really not liking that game when I had it as a kid, and never thought about it again, and just now realized it could be expensive. 7,000 yen for Princess Tomato and the Salad Kingdom for the Famicom Disk System. 14,800 yen for only the card of the Arcade Card Pro CD-ROM upgrade for your PC Engine, and indeed, that's quite pricey. I paid less than half for mine. Deer Simulator for Switch, game only is 1,150 yen. And then something I did take advantage of, and I'll explain why it happened in just a moment. Metroid Dread for the Switch, only 1,500 yen for the cartridge only, the game card only. And I'll explain why that happened later on, after all the products. Sky Jaguar, in box, and looking pretty good. For the MSX, this is including the orange Konami box. Classic look, great box art. 3,230 yen for that game. Game Center Sono Mamma Idol Hanafuda Fan Club. I do have this game for the PC Engine. It is a pirate game, as in they did not pay NEC to make the game. This one, though, I got mine for 1,000 yen. This one's 4,000 yen, but it does include the box. And it's got a really weird, kind of illegal-looking box, like they do what they're doing is not okay. But yeah, this is just a Hanafuda game where the women, expose their breasts. Frogger for the Pewta. This old, very old computer video game system. Very, very weak system. 5,800 yen if you want to play one of the worst versions of Frogger on your Pewta. For 1,080 yen, this is weird, this is a PC CD-ROM, Virgin of a Legend. And it's just a bunch of women who are cosplaying. They're putting on the costumes of different animation characters, and you can watch their pictures and videos. And it's just, Virgin of a Legend Volume 3. And, if that's for you, that's for you. 1,000 yen. Kind of a cheap one here. Afterburner for the for the Mark III / Master System. Only 1,300 yen. Kind of cheap for a classic game. Spy vs. Spy for the Mark III, which I got about half this price, but still it's kind of cheap at 5,200 yen, including the box and instruction and the game card. And Solomon's Key, boxed and complete for the Master System, or Mark III, for one of the rare silver boxes, because it's not made by Sega. It's made by Tecmo. Solomon's Key, 10,000 yen. Let's see here. Also, the keyboard for the Sega Net modem, which I do have the modem, but yeah, usually you have to put in characters with the control pad, but the keyboard makes it easy. But it's 7,400 yen, And unfortunately, it is not compatible with any games. So even if you even if you wanted to say use the keyboard on on like the Doom or whatever, you can't. So kind of pricey just for a modem that no longer works. Speaking of what I said before, Spy vs. Spy for the Mark III, they had it cartridge or game card only for 2,700 yen. Still slightly more than what I paid for the full amount, including the box and instruction and everything. And with that, that's everything to go over for the store. Yeah, it's a good store to visit. And about that game, Metroid Dread is a first-party Metroid game by Nintendo. Typically, those games, even used, never drop below 3,000 yen, if it's like a Mario game or Metroid game, whatever. But this one, I checked after I got it, and the label on it said Metro Redux, Metroredux, which is one of the games in the first-person shooter Metro series. And the person who had stocked this game, I guess, they're not native English speakers, so Metroid probably just typed in Metro and then got to that point and saw the games list narrow down and just chose the wrong game. So what should have been more than twice the cost was my benefit to this day. I don't really like it so much. I've been playing it. It's very, hard to control compared to most Metroid games with the weird timing system and stuff. But just for having it as a collection edition at a cheap junk price, I can get behind that. Thanks so much for listening, and have a wonderful day.